Cereal used to be the easiest breakfast decision in the world. You grabbed a box, poured it into a bowl, drowned it in milk, and convinced yourself you were starting the day healthy enough. But the cereal aisle has quietly transformed into one of the biggest nutritional landmines in the grocery store. Behind those cartoon mascots, bright colors, and whole grain stickers hide some of the most misleading, sugar-packed, chemical-stuffed products you will ever feed yourself or your kids. And today, we are breaking down the 7 cereal brands you should never buy and the 2 that are actually safe. If you think you already know the worst offenders, trust me, you do not. Some of the brands topping this list are the ones you grew up with, the ones you still buy, and the ones you probably think are healthy. So buckle up, because your childhood is about to take a hit. 1. The sugar bomb in disguise. Let's start with a cereal that markets itself as a balanced breakfast, even though one serving has more sugar than a donut. That lightly sweetened label is a joke. Manufacturers rely on small portion sizes to trick nutrition labels into looking harmless. But no human being eats the child-sized serving they print on the box. And once you pour a real bowl, you are basically eating candy with milk. What makes this cereal a top offender is not just the sugar load. It is the number of stabilizers, artificial colorings, and preservatives tucked into the ingredient list. Those neon colors are not fun. They are lab dyes approved in the 1960s and never updated for modern safety standards. Some have documented links to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and behavioral issues. This brand survives entirely on nostalgia, not quality. If it were introduced to the market today, it would never get past a modern food safety panel. 2. The healthy whole grain. Some cereals do not look sugary. They come in muted brown boxes with leaves on the design, a fake natural aesthetic, and enough buzzwords to win a marketing award. The problem is simple. As soon as you look past the branding, you realize the first ingredient is not whole grain. It is a refined grain blend, stripped of nutrients and spiked with sweeteners to cover the lack of flavor. Honey, evaporated cane syrup, brown rice syrup, natural sweetener blend, and my personal favorite, organic dehydrated cane juice, which is literally sugar with a fancy name. These cereals also rely heavily on vegetable oils and emulsifiers to keep clusters crunchy for months. That gives them a health halo that convinces consumers they are doing something good for their body, even though the metabolic impact is the same as a dessert. If your cereal claims to support heart health but spikes blood sugar like a milkshake, it does not belong in your cart. 3. The children's mascot scam. If a cereal has a smiling animal mascot, it is almost always garbage. These boxes are intentionally placed at children's eye level, engineered for bright color recognition and loaded with reward-triggering flavors. The sugar is only half the issue. The real problem is the cocktail of artificial dyes that give each piece its cartoon appearance. Red dye used in certain children's cereals is restricted in several countries, but still approved in the United States. Yellow dyes have documented links to allergic responses. Blue dyes have been studied for their impact on developmental behavior in children, yet the boxes say nothing about that. They say fun shapes, fortified with vitamins, and kid-approved. Let us be real. Kids do not approve anything unless it tastes like sugar. These cereals might as well come with a warning label that says, "Not recommended for human breakfast." 4. The protein cereal trap. High-protein cereals exploded in popularity recently, mostly because people think they are healthier. But here is the truth the marketing never mentions. The protein in these cereals comes from processed isolates, not real food. And to make that protein palatable, manufacturers drown it in sweeteners, flavorings, and binding agents so aggressively that the ingredient list looks like a chemistry exam. Worse, some keto-friendly cereals use sugar alcohols like erythritol, which can cause digestive issues, bloating and spikes in insulin, despite being marketed as a zero-sugar miracle. If a cereal tastes like dessert but claims to be healthy, the label is lying to you. 5. The value brand disaster budget cereals look like a great deal. Giant bags, low prices, compared to the national brand labels. But the truth is brutal. These value cereals often use the cheapest possible grain blends, bulk sweeteners, aging processing equipment and lower standard suppliers. You can taste it in the dusty texture that goes soggy in seconds and the strange artificial aftertaste. These brands also tend to cut corners in supply chain oversight. When national brands switch to better safety protocols or ingredients, value brands often lag behind for years. Saving $2 today is not worth eating cereal that uses 30-year-old production standards. 6. The organic scam brand. Some cereals slap the word organic on the box and magically double the price. But organic does not always mean healthy. These cereals still rely heavily on added sugars, stabilizers, and synthetic adjacent flavorings. Organic cane sugar is still sugar. Organic tapioca syrup is still sugar. Some even use organic coloring agents that have the same metabolic effects as their non-organic counterparts. The worst offenders use just enough organic ingredients to meet certification while stuffing the rest of the formula with fillers and flavor enhancers. Organic cereal is not healthy cereal. It is just expensive cereal. 7. The classic brand that lost its way. This one hurts because it used to be good decades ago, back when the recipe was simple, clean, and trustworthy. Today, the brand is owned by a massive multinational corporation that replaced real ingredients with stabilizers, emulsifiers, gums, and artificial flavors to cut costs. The texture is different, the sweetness is different, and the nutritional profile is now closer to a dessert than a breakfast. The saddest part is that most consumers still buy it because they remember how it tasted 20 years ago. That product does not exist anymore. Now, the safe options. We are not here just to tell you what to avoid. 2 cereal brands actually deserve the space in your pantry. Safe Brand 1, the transparent ingredient brand. This brand does not hide behind marketing. The ingredient list is short, the sugar content realistic, and the flavors rely on real food, not laboratories. No dyes, no fillers, no engineered crunch enhancers. It costs a little more because real ingredients cost more. But for breakfast you eat regularly, the difference in quality is worth it. Safe Brand 2, the farmer-owned cooperative. This is the closest thing to cereal from 20 or 30 years ago. Simple recipes, real grains, minimal processing and quality control that comes from not answering to Wall Street investors. When a brand is owned by the farmers and not a giant corporation, the incentive shifts from cut costs to keep customers alive and healthy. This is the kind of cereal you do not feel guilty eating. Conclusion. The cereal aisle is not your friend. It is a battlefield of misleading marketing, nostalgia manipulation, and chemical engineering designed to make you forget how real food tastes. The brands on the never buy list are not accidents. They are profitable formulas built on cutting corners. The safe brands are the exception, not the rule. If this breakdown opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which cereal you grew up eating and whether it is going to survive your next grocery trip.